When are mortgage rates coming down? We'll cover that today on Frequently Asked Friday. So housing affordability is currently at a 30-year low, which is leaving a lot of millennials and now even Gen Zers to ask the question to wonder, will they ever be able to get into home ownership? The median monthly mortgage payment has actually doubled in the last 5 years. So in 2019, we were sitting just over $1,000. We're now up to a little over $2,000 for the median monthly mortgage payment in 2024. And along with rising home prices, one of the biggest factors of this affordability or unaffordability crisis, we may call it, is mortgage rates, which are stubbornly still over the 7% mark. As of this recording on May 13th, according to the Federal Reserve of St. Louis, the 30-year fixed mortgage rate is currently at 7.09%. Now, side note, the 40-year average for mortgage rates is 7.7%, so we're still under the 40-year average, but if you're watching this, you're probably not comforted by that fact. Now, if we're going to understand when rates will come down, we need to understand why rates are what they are. So rates have maintained stable around that 7% mark for the large part this year. The Federal Reserve has decided to maintain the federal funding rate between 5.25 and 5.5%, which while they don't control the 30-year mortgage rate, they do influence it heavily by that federal funding rate. And why have they done that, might you ask? Well, one of the biggest reasons is that inflation has remained stubborn, and while inflation has come down, it has not currently hit the 2% inflation rate that the Federal Reserve is shooting for, and the Federal Reserve is reluctant to kind of loosen up the constraints of the federal funding rate because they don't want inflation to shoot back up. Chairman Powell recently was quoted saying, reducing policy restraint too soon and too much could result in a reversal of progress that we have seen in inflation and ultimately require a tighter policy to get inflation back to the 2% target. So with that news, experts are predicting mortgage rates to come down, but it will take longer and it will now not be as drastic as once previously projected, hoped for. So long story short, we are projected to be in the 6s by the end of this year, whereas we were hoping to maybe even get into the high 5s by the end of this year. So interest rates are coming down, they are ticking down, but it's looking like it's not going to be as quick and not going to be as much as we originally hoped for. Hope that made sense. If you have any questions, comments that I didn't address, throw them in the comments or shoot me a DM. Thanks for tuning in. Look forward to seeing you next week.